What's up, guys? This is Jay Youngo2 back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about 5 NBA players that will be in contention for MVP next season. Cue that intro. Number 5, LeBron James. LeBron James, he didn't make the playoffs last season, and we all know that this man is going to come back next season extremely motivated. He's going to come out and put on a show next season, and he has a new team around him. He has Anthony Davis, and in my opinion, will be the best teammate that LeBron will ever play with. And already from a talent perspective, he is the best player that he's ever going to play with. And LeBron is definitely going to average around 26 points and 9 assists. And anytime you're really making a list of guys who are going to be in the contention for MVP, LeBron will always be in that list because that's how great of a player he is. And also another great plus for this team is that the locker room. This team actually has a lot of chemistry. Danny Green and LeBron James actually played with each other in LeBron's first run in Cleveland. Avery Bradley and Rajon Rondo played with each other on the Boston Celtics, and Rondo played with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. You also have Quinn Cook and DeMarcus Cousins, who also played with each other last season on the Warriors. So this team definitely has a lot of chemistry. So I think LeBron and the Lakers, they can really make something special out of this group. And that can really help LeBron's case for possibly winning MVP next season. He's going to be extremely motivated, especially if the team has a really great locker room around him. And they will finish with one of the best records in the Western Conference next year as well. And in the first time in a very, very, very long time, LeBron didn't make the playoffs. So this guy, knowing that the NBA pretty much thrives when LeBron plays, he's going to come back a lot more motivated. I'm telling you this right now. Number 4, his teammate, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has definitely been in contention for MVP throughout his NBA career, but he never really had a great supporting cast around him. But now he's on the Lakers and he's playing with one of the greatest players in NBA history in LeBron James. And pretty much LeBron is going to give the keys to Anthony Davis, and I expect Anthony Davis to have one of the greatest seasons in his NBA career. When you have a really high IQ basketball players like LeBron and Rondo, you're going to have a little bit of an easier task. And in 2017, Anthony Davis had the best season of his NBA career when he averaged 28 points, 12 rebounds, and he shot 53% from the field. And that was the season that the Pelicans made the second round of the playoffs. And I expect the exact same thing to happen now, since he has an even greater supporting cast around him. We all know that LeBron thrives with shooters around him, and Anthony Davis can shoot the ball really well. He shot 32% from the three-point line last season. He's one of the best mid-range shooters also in the league. And that's really impressive for a guy who's pretty much near 7 foot tall. And he's also one of the best shot blockers in the league. Last season, LeBron was playing with JaVale McGee, and JaVale McGee had the best seasons of his career, and he was also a really great shot blocker. Now you're replacing him with Anthony Davis, who's an even better shot blocker and an even better offensive player. That Anthony Davis, really the key for him to winning MVP is the people complimenting him. LeBron's going to compliment him really well. Him and DeMarcus Cousins has that chemistry from when they played with each other in New Orleans. And pretty much all the shooters and defenders on this team will compliment Anthony Davis. And especially since he's one of the best pick and roll players in the NBA, this guy's going to have a feast catching lobs next season. So next season, you're really going to see the best version of Anthony Davis, since he has pretty much the perfect supporting cast around him. This team, even though it's LeBron's team, Anthony Davis is pretty much the future of the Lakers, and this supporting cast really fits him perfectly. So Anthony Davis will definitely be in the contention for MVP next season. There's no doubt about that. Number 3, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is one of the best young and upcoming centers in the NBA. He just made his first All-Star team last season. He's pretty much a rare breed of a center. He can pretty much average a triple-double at any given time of his NBA career for a season. He's also pretty much the floor general for this Denver Nuggets team. He alone assisted 37% of the Denver Nuggets plays last season. And what's really going to help out his case a lot too is that when you're a really young team like the Denver Nuggets, they like to really push in the regular season to get the best record that they can, and that's exactly what they tried to do last season. But one of the downsides of having one of these younger teams is that they normally don't play good on the road at all. The Denver Nuggets last season alone finished with a 20-21 record on the road, and in the playoffs, they went to 7 games somehow with the San Antonio Spurs, a team that they should have easily beaten in like 5 or 6 games. But that's just an example of how young of a team they are, especially playing against veterans. But next season, they're going to win over 50 games again, and that's really going to have to come down, though, too, for Nikola Jokic's case, is Jamal Murray next season is going to have to come back next year and play like a most improved player. If Gary Harris can stay healthy throughout the NBA season, they could really do something really great as well. And if Michael Porter Jr. plays absolutely amazing in his rookie season, this Denver Nuggets team will be future title contenders. And for Nikola Jokic himself, he's really going to have to improve on the defensive end. He's one of the worst defenders in the NBA. And the Nuggets alone are not really the greatest defensive team. Also, in the 2017-2018 season, he shot 39% from the three-point line, which was one of the best for his center, and last season he shot 30.6%. He's definitely going to have to improve in that category as well too. But this guy, he's one of the most rarest breed of a centers that you will ever see in the NBA. And if his team can improve, and he improves on the little things that he has to work on in his game, he will definitely be in contention and can possibly win MVP next year. Number 2, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning MVP, definitely had a great year last season. He improved in just about every statistical category, and his team had the best record in the league. They finished with the top 3 in offense and defense, and his team finished with the best record in the entire NBA. Another thing that's really going to pretty much help improve his case even more is that he's pretty much coming back with the exact same team from last year. Yes, you did lose Malcolm Brogdon and Nikola Mirotic, which are 2 really good pieces for this team, and you're replacing Malcolm Brogdon with George Hill, and you also got Wesley Matthews, who's a really great shooter, and they got Kyle Korver, who's one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. And when you surround Giannis with shooters, it brings out the best in his game because it opens up the paint for him to dominate down low. And he's determined to win MVP again because he said in his own words that don't call me MVP yet until I win it again next season. But the key for him to making that happen is that he's going to have to really improve on his weaknesses. We saw the Toronto Raptors pretty much expose him in the playoffs. And in the second round of the playoffs, Al Horford exposed him in game 1. And we all know what his weaknesses are. He cannot shoot the ball really well at all. Last season, he shot 25% from the three-point line compared to over the other years where he actually shot a little bit over 30%. He's really just going to have to work on gaining more moves in his arsenal. We all know that he's a dominant force in the paint, but really his main weakness in the playoffs last year was that his moves were really easy to catch on. When he would drive in the paint, the defenders were already right there waiting to double team him. And he was still trying to somehow make this really tough shot, knowing that it's not going to go in. So if Giannis next season can come back with moves in his arsenal that are totally different from knowing that he's going to just drive in and try to dunk the ball and actually do something really crafty, it's going to catch people on by shock. And if he can work on his three-point shot as well, this guy is going to be one of the greatest players in NBA history. So if he could work on not being so easy to read, working on his three-point shot, even his free throw percentage could go up a little bit, and just improve on his overall playmaking ability, this guy will win the MVP yet again and for many more years to come. Now, number 1 goes to Steph Curry. Now that Kevin Durant is gone from the Warriors, Klay Thompson is going to be pretty much hurt for pretty much half of the season, if not more. Steph Curry is going to average over 30 points a game, similar to like what he did in 2016. As a matter of fact, he has no choice but to put up these numbers if the Warriors still want to remain relevant in the Western Conference. And I can see him winning this award easily because his story is going to be really similar to when Russell Westbrook won the MVP, when he averaged a 30-point triple-double. And it was similar because, too, that Kevin Durant, he left that team that season, and Kevin Durant, he pretty much left on Steph Curry. These two are going to have pretty much similar stories for Steph, especially winning his third MVP. I can see him easily averaging over 30 points a game, but not as efficiently as he did in 2016 because he had a really solid supporting cast, and he still has a solid supporting cast now. But that Klay Thompson's going to be hurt. Draymond Green, we'll see how he plays next season, and the new additions that they got. The ball's going to be in his hands a lot more, so he's not really, in my opinion, going to be extremely efficient next season. And especially too, that you brought in D'Angelo Russell, a guy who needs the ball in his hands to actually dominate a game, compared to Klay Thompson, who doesn't need the ball in his hands to dominate because he's a two-way player. He can play on both ends of the floor, and he's a spot-up shooter. I don't really see those two really working out in the backcourt. The positive part about this is that D'Angelo Russell, he can shoot the ball really well, and that's really going to help out the Warriors a lot. And when Steph is tired, D'Angelo could come in the game and give you buckets. Sometimes when Curry's not playing, he could run the point guard and lead that offense. Also, when Curry was playing with Durant, Curry still finished last season 5th in the MVP voting. And even if the Warriors only play Steph Curry for around 60 games this season, he's still, in my opinion, going to win MVP because his numbers are going to be that great. And besides, this Warriors team is Steph Curry. The system runs through him. He is the focal point of their offense. So without him, the Warriors are a totally different team. I expect Steph Curry to come back next season very motivated, and he will win the 2020 MVP. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more great content. Hope you enjoy your day. Peace.